Hi, little friends. I'm Bika, and today I'm going to tell you a beautiful and very important story about Easter. But it's not about bunnies and chocolate, okay? The real Easter comes from the Bible, and it's full of love and freedom. A long, long time ago, God's people were living in Egypt, but there they were treated like slaves. They worked very hard and suffered a lot. But God saw everything and decided to set his people free. God spoke to a man named Moses and told him to help his people leave Egypt. But the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, didn't want to let anyone go. So God sent 7 plagues to show Pharaoh that he was powerful. And the last plague would be very sad. The angel of the Lord would pass over the houses, and the firstborn son of every family would die. But God had a plan to protect his people. In Exodus 12:7, God said, "Take some of the lamb's blood and put it on the sides and tops of the door frames of the houses." And in verse 8, he said, "That same night they are to eat the meat roasted over the fire, along with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast." That little lamb was very special. It was the sign that the house belonged to the people of God. Then God explained, "That night I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn. I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord." Exodus 12:12. But those who had the blood on their doors would be protected. God said, "This is a day you are to remember. Celebrate it as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance." Exodus 12:14. And do you know what happened? When the Lord goes through the land to strike down the Egyptians, he will see the blood on the top and sides of the doorframe and will pass over that doorway. And he will not permit the destroyer to enter your houses and strike you down. Exodus 12:23. That's why the word Passover means to pass over, because the angel passed over the houses of God's people and no one was harmed. It is the Lord's Passover sacrifice, who passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and spared our homes. Exodus 12:27. At midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt. Exodus 12:29. But the people of God were safe. After that, Pharaoh let the people go. They were free and started a new life. And God told them never to forget it. But the Easter story didn't end there. Many years later, God did something even more amazing. He sent Jesus, his son, to free us from something very bad: sin. In Mark 14:12, it is written, "On the first day of the festival of unleavened bread, the disciples asked Jesus, 'Where do you want us to go and prepare for you to eat the Passover meal?'" Jesus was celebrating Passover with his friends, but he knew something very special was about to happen. He would become our lamb, the perfect lamb, who would die to save us. Jesus was crucified, but he did it out of love, to take sin out of our hearts and give us a new life, full of light. So, my friends, the true meaning of Easter is much more than chocolate. It's remembering that Jesus died and rose again, and because of him, we are free.